Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us for the Product of the Month webinar for August for Mahr. Glad that so many of you could take some time this afternoon to join us and hear about our new product and the special we're running this month. Just to remind everybody, this is the flyer for the special offer this month. It's a bundle package of the MarWin Easy Roughness mobile software, which is brand new, just introduced last month, and the MarSurf M310 mobile roughness device. I'm not sure how familiar everybody is with the M310, so I wanted to take a look at some of the features of the M310 before we look at the Easy Roughness mobile software that is bundled with it. It's a handheld portable device, a skidded measuring system capable of measuring roughness and being portable. You can take it with you if you're traveling. You can take it with you out of the shop floor. It's operated from a nice large high resolution color touchscreen, so as I think we're all pretty used to operating a smartphone these days, it's very similar to that. Most people find it very intuitive and very easy to operate for that reason. It's got LED lights to kind of give you some ideas of what's going on. The level of charge is shown. This right here, about half full. You start measurements with a nice large green button here to take a measurement. The probe is in here. We'll see another view on the next slides where we can see more about this drive unit that's removable. We can create function keys, some of our favorites, some of the most typical tasks we do or programs that we run. It's got a calibration standard built in, and it can be popped out and calibrate the unit with it. One of the really great features of the MarSurf M310 that makes it so versatile is all of the different ports you have to connect different kinds of devices. And we're going to kind of come back to this at the end and really talk a lot more about all the different ways you can connect to the M310, not just with the Easy Roughness software, but also with the Easy Roughness software, but that's not the only way. Another, before I leave that page, another thing is we can connect to things like printers via the USB port, or we can put in a Bluetooth adapter and connect to Bluetooth printers, things like that. So on this screen, you can see that the drive unit can be removed and used independently. There's an extension cable to do that, and it's one of the many accessories in the standard kit when you order the kit. It comes with or without the optional Bluetooth printer. In that picture over on the right, you see it with the Bluetooth printer there. You can get it both ways. This here is a blow-up of the integrated calibration patch that stores up underneath. So here we see a little more about some of these LED lights. This one here, blue, shows that it's measurement running or transferring data through one of the many ports. Red would indicate that it's error status. We've got the battery charge level. We can connect printers. One of the standard options we offer is a Bluetooth printer. Since it's a portable unit, want to have the option to have a portable printer that goes with it. You can configure that. This is a screenshot of configuring that in the software of the M310. But in addition to that, you can use any standard printer that you would connect to a PC, like a HP DeskJet or something like that. You can connect it with a USB cable, and you can print full-size documents, full-size page reports out of the software here. You can get over 1,200 measurements on one charge. Let's look a little closer at the back end of the unit where all the connectors are. Start with the MarConnect interface for our MarCom professional software. You can get your data out of many Mahr devices via the Mahr Connect interface. The Marcom professional software is a free to download software. I basically would describe it as a sort of a traffic director. You get the data from all your different Mahr devices and you send it to wherever you want to have the data go. It can go to data files that your SPC program is picking up. It can go to Excel spreadsheets, and each device's data can go to certain locations in there. You can query it by pushing a button on the PC that pulls the data out of it. You can also configure it to automatically send data from the device. You can also configure it to pull the data from the device when you step on a foot switch, say, or something like that. All these things can be configured and for a bunch of different devices, and it's one way to get data out of Mahr devices. And so, like all the other Mahr devices, the M310 offers that. We offer a micro SD slot. You can put in a memory card and increase the memory of the device up to 32 gigabytes. Depending on the length of profiles you're measuring and what kind of data you're saving, are you saving just the results, or are you saving all of the profile points that are being measured? You can go anywhere from a few 100,000 to a few million measurements and store them on 32 gigabytes. In the middle of the device is a typical USB-A, like we know from every PC we see these days, and that's a versatile connection. We can put a Bluetooth adapter in there and connect to this device via Bluetooth. We can also connect from this device to other devices via Bluetooth, such as a Bluetooth printer or a Bluetooth barcode scanner. We can plug in a wired USB barcode scanner as well and use that to start programs, and those programs can be different programs depending on what kind of a code you scan. If you want to plug in multiple devices, you can use a USB hub like you do with a PC. You know, turn one port into 4. That's also possible with this USB interface. It's just really like a USB port on a PC. And then the last one is this one over here on the right, and it's a micro USB connector, and it actually allows a number of different types of connectivity. The first is you can plug it into a Windows PC, and Windows, without any installation of any extra drivers or anything, will treat it like a USB drive or a memory stick or a flash drive, whatever you want to call that. And it ends up just looking like a certain drive letter, and there's a bunch of different folders there that let you see whatever data is being saved by the unit. And you can configure that in these menus. Do you want to save just the measured parameters like the RAs or RZ kinds of calculated parameters? Do you want to save all the raw profile data? Do you want to save PDF documents like a measurement report, stuff like that? It also allows you to control the unit with another device like a PC or a PLC or something like that. It gives you the ability to build these things into maybe an automated system or a fixture where a PLC is controlling a number of these, and the operator is being told to move the part from fixture to fixture, and the remote PLC or computer or whatever is controlling it can initiate the measurement. It can change the measurement conditions, such as measuring speed, parameters, do all of that remotely. So it's all capable of being controlled remotely. And finally, the thing we're going to spend the time on today is for remote control with MarWin Easy Roughness. So what is Easy Roughness Mobile? It's a new software package that is just available starting last month. With the Easy Roughness mobile software, you can control this mobile MarSurf M310 directly. You can control all aspects of how it's used. It basically becomes just a drive unit for the PC-based software, and you do all your analysis and calculation of parameters and filtering and all of that on the PC. This replaces, for those of you that know our product line pretty well, it replaces the XR1 Easy Roughness software and the drive units RD18 and RD18C, RD18C2. All of those are being discontinued and replaced by the M310 family of drive units. And what's really unique is different than in the past. You don't need any additional hardware or controllers or interface boxes or anything else. You need a PC with the Easy Roughness software on it, a USB cable or Bluetooth adapter, and the M310 unit. That's it. So what does that really mean? It's a big change in product structure for us at Mahr, and it means a big increase in ease of use and flexibility for our customers, and a dramatic decrease in price. So in the past, to have a PC-based system with XR1 Easy Roughness, an RD18 drive unit, the adapter you needed, all of those kinds of things, you would have been over $20,000. With Easy Roughness Mobile and the software and the M310, promo price for August this month, it's only $77.50. It's a pretty dramatic difference in entry-level cost for a PC-based system. So how does this work? How do you connect to the M310? You can do it, as I mentioned, two ways, via USB cable or Bluetooth. USB cable's pretty straightforward. Once you get the software, install the software and the drivers, the day-to-day operation is really simple. You turn on your PC. When it's booted up, you simply plug in the USB cable to the M310. It senses that the cable's been plugged in, it turns on. You go into the menu on the M310 and select MarWin operation. So it knows it's to be controlled by MarWin software and not by a touchscreen anymore. And you leave it in that mode. Then you start the Easy Roughness software on the computer and it will start up, search for connected units. You can have multiple units connected and it will find them and show connection established on each unit. We'll look at how you do that when we look at the Bluetooth one here. Bluetooth is very similar. There's one extra step. So you install the software, you pair the M310 and the PC like you're used to doing with your smartphone in your car, or your smartphone and the earbuds that you use with it, or whatever. It works the same way. Day-to-day operation, you turn on the PC, you turn on the M310. They've been previously paired. They should automatically connect to each other. There is one extra step here, as I mentioned. That new step is to connect to the M310 as an access point. That allows a much higher data transmission speed than normal Bluetooth connections. So it is a step that you have to do manually, but it's easy. Down in your system tray, you click on your Bluetooth symbol and bring up your Bluetooth devices. You right click on the M310, and one of the options that comes up is connect as an access point, and then you're done until you turn the computer off again. So let's just look at how you put it into the MarWin operation mode. Go to menu, scroll down, you see MarWin operation there. Choose that. Now I'm starting the software, the MarWin Easy Roughness Mobile. As it starts up, it looks for the system, finds it, and establishes a connection, and you're ready to go. That's all there is to it. So Easy Roughness Mobile, it is, if you are familiar with our Easy Roughness or XR1 or XR20 products of the past, it is that full software. It isn't a somehow slimmed down, smaller version. It's the whole thing. Let's take a look at really in the software itself, running the software. You see the full suite of tools you have there. Across the bottom of the screen, we've got all these function keys that can be assigned. We can create quick and easy programs and assign them down there. I've got a couple there. There's also 4 different levels, so between them there's 32. There's a barcode down there in the corner, and that signifies that we can assign programs to barcodes and launch them that way. You see the M310 is the drive unit that's currently being used. And the profile and some parameters calculated. All the parameters that you would normally think of being available are there. Regular roughness, core roughness, all of those kinds of things are available to you. You can set tolerances, you can do statistics on these things. There's optional packages like the dominant waviness or ISO 13565. We can create measurement reports, and you see a nice full page report with the parameters. We can export all of the data. We can export just the profile or just the results or both. We can even export PDF documents of the reports and automatically record all of this. And we can set automatic naming and all of those kinds of features for it. So it's the full suite of software. Let's come back to the those ports on the back and kind of look at them again. I mentioned the MarCom professional software can connect. It actually can, I talked about it with the Mahr Connect interface, that port, but it can also connect via Bluetooth. You put a Bluetooth adapter in the USB port in the middle, and in the lower right you see the MarCom professional software. That there's two devices currently connected, caliper and the M310, but you can have a bunch of devices, and this is software which will take the data from the Mahr devices and send it wherever you want it. That's available for free. That's available to download on our website, and it's just something that allows you to get the data out of your Mahr devices and get it wherever you want to get it. Because, you know, after all, if you're buying these devices from Mahr to use in an industrial setting, what you're really buying is some way to get some data, right? So we offer that to you. Second way, again, no cost, no additional cost, is you don't need any software from Mahr. You just plug it in via the micro USB port, and the M310 appears as a drive. Here on my computer, it's letter E, but you see all the standard folders, and each of those will have things like the measuring results. If you told the device you want to save the results like the RA or RZ numbers, you can have the profiles if you want. So those results can be they're a CSV file. You can open them up in Excel. You can open them up with other kinds of software like SPC software. We have a lot of people who use that. They go take the M310 out into the factory, do a bunch of measurements, a whole batch of parts, have it saving automatically, doing all those measurements, go back in, plug it into their desktop PC. Now they've got the whole list of results. They can pull them into Excel and do some capability analysis or something like that, or pull it into an SPC package and do that. You don't need anything other than an M310 to do that. A third option is another no-cost option from Mahr that lets you view those profiles, because what's great about the option above is that you don't need any software, but one of the limitations is you probably have no trouble viewing the results, but you may not have any way to view the actual roughness profile and see the shape of the profile. So this is a way to let you do that in addition to just looking at the data files. Then for a while now, we've offered offline MarWin Easy Roughness software. This is the first one that costs any money, but it gives you the ability to load up the profiles and do more than just view them. You can now say, oh, I didn't calculate RZ, I only calculated RA. I want to turn on RZ too, and it'll calculate RZ. So it's dealing with the raw profile as measured, and it's letting you reanalyze it. You can change your filter settings. You can add parameters. You've got the full capability of the software, except the ability to control the unit. You're always working with stored data. And finally, now today, the MarWin Easy Roughness lets you do all that. Plus, you can control everything about the measurement, how the measurement's made, the speed of the measurement, the filter settings like the cutoff or what type of filter. And you work in the software rather than with the unit, the M310 unit. So it's completely operated from the software. And the last thing is you can put the M310 in the remote control mode. You see it over there on the right is micro USB as the interface. And then, like many of you are probably familiar with for many years, we can do COM port kinds of assignment. We can send text commands via in the old days, RS-232, nowadays via USB, but Windows kind of models that after the old serial or RS-422 type of interface. And we can do that. We can tell the software, we can tell the M310 via some remote unit to start a measurement, to send me the data, to change your parameter settings, all of those kinds of things. So the M310 can easily be built into fixtures and automated solutions and customized solutions. So MarWin Easy Roughness mobile software is kind of the top of the line way to use the M310, control everything about it, and get the most flexibility and capability on a PC-based system. But it's not the only way, and there's a lot of others, and some of them are very simple and very inexpensive. So with that, I will open it up to some questions. If anybody has any. I know it takes a minute to type questions, so I'll give everybody a minute or two to ask any. Well, I'm not seeing any questions. So let's see if I can open this window. So the first question is this software specific to the M310 or can it be used with the PS10? So that, yeah, that's one of the differences between the PS10, which is kind of the little brother of the M310. The PS10 cannot be controlled directly from the Easy Roughness mobile software. If I go back up to these options, with the PS10, you can do the first 4, but you can't do the last 2. The next question is there a stand adapter to put it on a stand? Yes, there is. There's several different stands, and there's a stand adapter. There's threaded holes in the bottom of the unit that allow it to mount to a stand, so it can be put on a lot of different stands. Next question is, how far can you transmit data from Bluetooth? It's a good question, but it's not an easy one to answer because it depends upon your environment and how much electrical noise you have in the environment. So here in the office, I can probably do 30, 40 feet. In an electrically noisy factory where there's a lot of machine tools running around it, we usually can do 5 to 10 feet, no problem. 15 or 20 feet is often a problem. Okay, well, that seems to be the extent of the list of questions. So with that, again, we'll thank everybody for taking the time to join us and your interest in the M310 and our Easy Roughness mobile software offering. And hopefully we can interest you to take a closer look at it. Thank you.